Alright, I'm back. And I made this new design for my helmet for this video, and it ended up supposed to look like a cloud, but did not turn out like that, and looks more like a mutated muffin. But it is what it is, and I accept that. I only had 2 days to put this together editing wise, and so let's get to it. I have this 16x8 canvas here, which is just a little bit wider than the last one, and using Procreate and Blender again to make this piece. On the 3D side, we have a character that I made using my custom character setup, inspired by Morgan from Street Fighter, I think, if that's her name. And additionally, aside with her, she was way easier than the next part, which was surprisingly clouds. I had gone through so many methods in the beginning of the week, from volumetric clouds to 3D clouds with just some textures on top, which did not end up looking good at all. So I just went the smarter approach with 2D planes and using a little bit of shader work to make them react a little bit more better with the lighting I had set up in my scene. And with that, we can show the building of the scene. So flat background image with this little dude here, and then those 2D clouds I had mentioned, which again, they were so much better than the 3D alternative, which was just not working. Maybe I'll come back to that in the future, but for now this was perfect. And then lastly, we put in our little model at the end there, and there she goes. And now with the 3D setup in works, we can now take this as our final and take it over to the paint over for Procreate. And honestly, what I had set up here was great, but initially when I started to paint over, I wanted to see where I could go with the character. There was a lot of ideas I had in mind, but in the moment of doing this section, it would feel like a waste of time because I didn't end up using any of it. But what it did help with was deciding the colors I wanted to give off in the end with the environment and the character themselves. I was thinking more of blues in the beginning, as you can see in the background, but after hearing some feedback from my family and friends and looking back at it, I decided to go with the more purplish reddish approach that would be in the end, which was already in the beginning with the 3D scene, so it was pretty much set in stone with where the direction was going color wise. And here I'm just adding all more of the details and such, little things here and there to build up that world that I wanted to get in. And these little ghosts are coming up, which were really fun to do. I'm really happy with the effect that came in with that. And yeah, we got this finished piece here, which we can now move on to review. So overall, I'm very happy with this piece. It was a huge stress reliever for this week. Working on all the little details and stuff, and it being a cloudy environment in itself was already relaxing enough. So I'm really happy with how it turned out, and especially with the character themselves. I've definitely come a long way from modeling characters, and then on top of that, using them for my work. And I'm very happy to keep working on these little characters I have lined up for future pieces and such. And also the little ghosts and the environment overall was just something I'm really happy with how it ended up being overall in the end. And yeah, that is the piece. If anyone is interested, I have some few additional works with this piece on my Ko-fi page if anyone's interested to support. And yeah, besides that, that is all. Thank you again for coming and checking this piece and my work and my ramblings. Hopefully I can get something more consistent there. I feel like right now I'm just talking and showcasing whatever I'm doing here, but I'm just happy to have something being consistent for once. Here's to another Sunday upload, maybe next week. But yeah, thank you so much, and I'll see you later.